is Tokes here from Water Seed. Welcome to our channel. So today's conversation is, I'm hoping that it doesn't fly over your head, because I have thought about this conversation for a while, but I also wanted to make sure that the girls understand what I'm saying. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is that I look around me every day and I seem to see the exhibition of the same behaviors in adults and also in children. And these are narcissistic behaviors. And we are creating children who are having personality traits, to become permanent narcissists. Because yes, there are people who actually have the disorder, which is an illness, and they're going through it. But as a society, I feel like we're raising children I wanted to address it to the point where a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old girl or child understands what I'm saying. I want to try my best to make you understand, at least before I start talking about it, what narcissism is, or having a narcissistic personality disorder is. But also I want to talk about what are the causes of such behavior. And sometimes we don't know exactly. Sometimes it's genetic, sometimes it's a personality trait. There are a lot of things that surround it. Sometimes it's due to verbal abuse from a young age. Sometimes it's due to just the behavior of the person and the people they're around, and therefore they're able to pick those tendencies. There isn't one way to become a narcissist. There's some who have it in their genes, who have it in their, who's in their genetics, in their family, and obviously they can't come out of that. And so those are the ones that I refer to that have the narcissistic behavior disorders. But there's some of us growing in the world where we are picking up tendencies. So in full form, we're not it, but we're picking up tendencies that the only way to survive in this world is that we need to be narcissists. And that's what we're teaching our children. So girls, I want to explain to you the symptoms or the behaviors that people that are narcissists, what they exhibit, so that you can be aware of it. A narcissist generally is someone who always puts themselves above every other person in every situation. So it's not just in one situation. They feel like they're very important, they're self-important, they're egoistic. They would always be in a room and think that they're the only person that people should talk about. They're that much self-important. The sense of self about them is always the height of what they're looking for and what they are. Now, the reason why I say that I see this so much around us is because today in our society, narcissists are winning because it's all about self. I want you to think about the workplace. The people who are mostly about self, me, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. They're working late, don't care about family. They just want everything just about them. They're actually the ones thriving in the workplace. A narcissist in today's world is our CEOs. Okay, maybe not all of them, but it's most of our CEOs, because we are of a generation where we are teaching our kids that it's all about them alone. Right now, we're telling them as their parent, it's all about you. Just go to school, compete, make sure you're the best, don't care about every other person. And we think that is serving them. But what we don't realize is that in our old age, when we're teaching our kids that it's all about them, when we're old and we need empathy from them and we need support from them, remember that our parenting style to them is that it's all about them. So they're not going to think about us. They're just going to be those same narcissistic behavior that we said is okay for them to thrive in. So one of the first characteristics of a narcissist is that they lack empathy. You can think that they have empathy, but they don't. So what I mean by that is that they're not kind people. They do not show compassion towards other people. They have no personality behavior to be able to extend any form of kindness to other people. They're narcissists who act like they have empathy, but they don't. An example would be me putting on my Instagram page to say, I'm off to feed the hungry today. But yet when you speak to me and you say to me, oh well, what orphanage or what charity or what person are you feeding? I seem to lack interest in talking about it. So I like the idea of the media, of people thinking that I'm doing good, but actually I'm not really interested in doing good. That is number one. Number two is that a narcissist is hot and cold. They'll be lovely one moment and they'll be completely horrible the next moment. And you would wonder how they're able to keep friends. So a narcissist would lose friends easily, but also gain friends as easy as well, because they're very grandiose. They're people who, for anything that they want, will go all out for a friend. So they could go out and buy you the most expensive thing, not because they really care for you to buy you that thing, but it's part of their personality to show you how self-important they are, to make you feel that they're very important in your life, so that you can almost depend on them. That is part of their trait. A narcissist would work on your vulnerabilities. So for example, if you've told a narcissist a secret about yourself or something that you keep really close to your heart, when you're upset with them, they would use that against you. They will constantly use that against you. Another one is that some narcissists prefer to only hang out with superior people, with people of a certain status, because they feel like everyone else is beneath them. The main fundamental problem for me with a narcissist is just the lack of feelings, is the lack of consideration towards other people. Everything is really just about them, just about their self and what they need to achieve. Narcissistic behaviors? Do we have the traits? Do we have the tendencies? Do we have people around us who have those tendencies? And how are we dealing with them? How are we communicating with them? Because the important step, the first step, is one, to accept that whoever you have around you is narcissist. Because when you accept it, then you know exactly how to deal with them. But I know I'm going back and forth in regards to this video. There's quite a lot of things that I want to cover, and I'm not sure I'm able to cover it in the time that I have. But the idea of what I'm trying to say is to explain to our children what narcissism is, explain to them the traits that come from that, and also explain to them why we don't want them to be that way. And whilst we live in a world where we know that to thrive is to almost think just about self, what happens is that those people get to that height of what they want to be, success, but then realize that they have nothing else, and that doesn't fulfill. So we want to raise a generation of children that can be successful. They don't have to have narcissistic tendencies to succeed. We don't have to raise them as parents only to have narcissistic tendencies to succeed, but to create really a full child. And I know that seems like a lot, because as a parent, how do you create a full child? How do you create a child that is successful, has empathy, is kind, is loving? You know, how do we do that? Well, there's no single answer to that. That we're no experts. We're all trying. We're all in this game of parenting. And until we give it our best, we just don't know what the outcome is. We just need to do it our best. We need to give our kids our best. We need to help them to be better people. And that's all we can do. But we cannot say that being a narcissist is the best way to thrive in this generation, because there is so much of it going on, and it's not the way. We must teach our children that to be in a room full of people and to constantly think about themselves, looking around the room to say, well, I'm the most successful in here, I'm the most powerful, I'm the most beautiful, is a narcissistic tendency, is a narcissistic. Because when you're in a room full of people, you should be thinking about talking to other people, learning about other people, not standing in a corner and just thinking that, oh my goodness, I am the most superior person in this room. That is not what we want our kids to take away. We want them to constantly, as much as they want to be confident, to also have humility, to be in a room and to think that, you know what, there might be people actually better than me in here, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go and communicate and have fun anyway. So I hope that you have managed to pick a thing or two in regards to narcissism. But most importantly, girls, I hope that you've been able to understand the traits of a narcissist, and to make sure that once you don't share your secrets with someone that you feel like is a narcissist, because they're going to use that vulnerability against you at some point in time. Also, you can use to protect yourself. When someone is a bit more grandiose one moment and then they hurt you the next moment, you need to be wary. You need to really step back and kind of think that, who am I letting into my space? So I'm sure I'm going to talk about this topic again in a couple of weeks. I hope that for some, I hope that it's giving you a little bit of foundation in regards to what I'm getting at. I hope you get it. Okay, I'm going to leave you now. Okay, have a lovely day. Bye.